76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, 64% of Americans that have businesses break even or lose money. Most people don't have any money and have accepted the fact that they don't have any money. They don't have any leftover money. They're fearful of money. Constantly they overspend. They don't know how to produce money. They definitely don't want to multiply. The land of the brave and the home of the free is not even close to the truth. It's just important for people to understand that complaining has no value. And if you complain about not having enough money, work more. If you complain about not having work-life balance, spend more time on vacationing in your family. It's super simple. Let your actions dictate instead of sitting there and feeling like you're not in control. Poor people say, "I can't afford it. I can't do that. I don't have time." It's an escape. I mean, it's easy to say I can't afford it. I am too tired. I can't go to the gym. No. When you could go to the gym, I can. Truth is, I'm just too lazy to go to the gym. Money doesn't have value, right? This is an important thing that most people don't immediately understand, is that money itself doesn't have value. Money is a vector for transmitting value. It's how you express value. But the value isn't in the money. It's in the product or service you bought with it, and it's in the labor you gave in order to acquire it in the first place. That's where the value comes from. There's nothing intrinsically valuable in the money. He shouldn't put money in a house, you should put money in your brand. You should put money in the market. You should promote yourself, not put money in where you and the kids live. Right. Why is that a mistake? Because it's dead money. I mean, it can't. A house can't make you money. A house does not make you money. The only reason people think a house makes them money is they're comparing it to, if I rent, that costs me money. But, if you need to go to hospital, you don't buy the hospital. You rent a bit to get out of there as fast as you can. If you go on a trip, you go to America and you want to go to Disneyland. You don't buy the hotel, you rent a room. And nobody thinks bad poorly that you're like yammered. Go there, use a place and get out. That's what you should be doing with your living. Find a place where you can pay rent monthly. Don't own the house and take all the money that you wouldn't put in that house. Purchase, down payment, extra money, fixing it up. Use all that money to improve your business and yourself so that you can get more money. Right. So I see so many people here, like I'm going to invest £300,000 in a house to hopefully make $30,000. £30,000. Mean I'm a buyer for 300. Maybe I'll sell it for 600,000. I'll double my money fixed in one place. By the way, where no money comes to, money does not go to homes. Right. And that's big. A big thing on your career is moving locations. Yeah. I've moved 5 or 6 times. I can move another 4 or 5 times because people who stay in the same place get too comfortable. If you study wealthy people, they're mercurial, they're moving, they're mobile. They're not talking. Warren Buffett and Bill Gates do not talk about the home they live in. They talk about the places they're going to. They go meet money. They go meet wealth, they go meet connections. People are stunningly accepting of anything if they actually believe that's the purest form of it. I think I'd be less acceptable if I hedged. I really do. People accept you. People accept everything. Just be you, be you. And clearly, people react when you're trying to fake something and you've got bad intent. Well, then that's visceral. And we hate. But I actually think we don't give love to the person that actually knows they have it and they're trying to fake it to conform. Hence why I won't adjust to this market all the way, because I don't think I'll be respected. I know what my intent is. So why would I be scared? I want to build the biggest building in town. That's who I am. And you know how I want to do that? By building the biggest building in town. And a lot of people want to build the biggest building in town. And you know how they want to do it? By tearing everybody else's building down. Poverty is passed on. It's taught in your families and middle classes, taught in families. And so the people right now are sitting at home who are struggling financially or are worried about money or unhappy. They may be making a lot of money, but unhappy with what they're doing. It was probably taught to, your super ego was taught. Get a job. Work hard or you'll never be rich, or the rich or evil or whatever. And until you change your mindset, your money won't help you. And we see that with people that win the lottery. People that make more money, they still have the same problem. Right, because they have that poor man's soul. Quite. If you're poor, you'll always be poor. That's really hard for people to understand. That money will disappear that fast, just like most pro athletes. They make millions of dollars but 65% are bankrupt. 5 years later. It's because they come from poor families. Now, you tell them that, they get very angry, which is not as it's a rich fault. You guys rip me off and government rip me off. But unfortunately, what Mr. Lipton was saying, it's passed down genetically. That's the frightening thing. And it's interesting, when you commit to something, little gifts just start automatically showing up. It's phenomenal thing. It's happened my whole career. When I fully commit, somebody will bring me something and then look. Then keep your eyes open. And by the way, the package may come wrapped in a package. You weren't thinking about hard work or like a voice or like a person or, maybe from a different direction than you thought, or an offering where you're like, you read something about this and that's not the thing. Like, all throughout my career, it's come in weird kind of ways. If you ask for help and somebody shows up at the door, maybe invite them in regardless of what the packaging is or what you've heard about it or whatever. That's really been beneficial to me. Okay. How old are you? 44. Think I'm 40. Young we feel. It's when you were 26. Did you ever think that this is what 44 felt like? No. You thought that was finished. Yeah. How old are you? Like you think of 40 years old. When I was 25 years old, I thought a 40-year-old was finished. I don't even feel like I'm starting. Right. Yeah, but when I was 26, I was in a rush. I understand all those guys and girls in the streets last night. When you say that to them, like their face kind of goes blank because all the stuff they watch MTV music is this. It's all about the bling now and this. Now and this. Now and MTV is tame. You start following people on Instagram and it's a disaster. They're all pushing like, it's all about champagne and private planes. And you can get it too and just sign up for my quote. And everybody's fallen for it. So I'm coming out. And first of all, I want to be historically correct. Nobody in 100 years is going to watch that video and say that I was full of crap like that. Right. Number 2, I want my legend to grow. I'm always fascinated by politicians and world figures like Winston Churchill. His brain continues to grow. Right. I want that when I'm dead. I want to be in the ground at peace, knowing my legends, growing like I want them in the business world. And so I'm giving real advice and real advice. Looks like this when you're 19 and you can spend 7 full years learning your craft. Meeting people that are mentors, being patient. And you wake up and you're 26 years old. You'll be your entire life in front of you. And you've done great foundational work to go on, have them be successful. I have bad luck too. I've had financial crashes. I've had people stab me in the back, but they're all good because I grow from it. That's spirituality. People who are afraid of making mistakes like they teach in school, they don't ever grow because spirituality is as good and those bad, those right and as wrong as up and those down. Most of all, want to be right all the way to be positive. Well, you can't have. That's not reality. And the average person, the reason they're poor is they haven't failed. You know, they play it so safe. They haven't made any mistakes like they taught in school. That means they don't learn anything. That's why the school system's actually fundamentally corrupt. It's a education. They don't make mistakes and don't ask for help. And if I didn't ask for help, I have my accountants, my attorneys, my bankers and all that. I go into business like a rugby team, you know, boom, boom, and we kick butt. But the average guy is dead, aren't there? Oh, I'm a student. I'm going to do this all on myself. And a bunch of rugby players run you over and you go, well, they're not playing fair. What, you're not? You're playing stupid. You should have a team job, accounts, attorneys and bankers and all that stuff. But that's not a scam. I want to play a set, then don't play the game. You know, the game of business is play with accountants, attorneys and bankers. Hate to say it. Politicians got another game. I don't want to hustle. I want to prosper. I don't want to grind. I want to create a machine that monetizes, you know, I'm not shameful of money. I want money. I want a lot of money. I want to give money away. I want to raise a lot of money. You can't do that if you're broke.